Have you ever brought a fish home from the fish store or been gifted one, and for some reason you bring it home and it just passes away? Well, you're not alone, and a lot of the problem that comes from this is fish owners not knowing exactly what to do to set up and maintain an aquarium. To set up your aquarium, you need to start with the right size. Let's go over the goldfish example. Each goldfish is recommended to have 20 gallons per fish. This is because goldfish are one of the most messy fish that there are, and they do get quite large. Each fish is different, so you have to do the research to make sure you find out which is best for your fish. And Keith Seyfarth brought to my attention the idea of cycling an aquarium. Cycling is where ammonia goes into nitrites and then nitrates go into nitrates. Ammonia and nitrites are very toxic to fish. They can cause burns and all sorts of illnesses and injuries, and you just want to try and avoid that as much as you can. And Brian Oram brought to my attention how dangerous it really is. What happens in a cycling process is that you establish a beneficial bacteria colony. You can start this off from just tap water, or you can get like a liquid bottle full of bacteria that you just dump in your tank, and it kind of kickstarts the cycling process. These bacteria feed off the fish waste and the fish food that cause the ammonia buildup. And they take this ammonia and they turn it into beneficial things like nitrates. This whole process takes about 6 to 8 weeks, and it starts about around 3 parts per million is where the ammonia starts out. This is what you want. And then once you see the ammonia dropping, you know that you've established beneficial bacteria, especially once you notice that you have increased nitrites and then you have increased nitrates. And when you have a good cycled tank, your ammonia level should be at 0 and your nitrates should be at 0 as well. It is important to have filtration for your fish as well. There's different types of filtration. There's hang on the back of the aquarium filtrations, and there's ones that sit in your tank, and they have some where it's called a sump, and it goes out from the bottom of the tank and gets filtered back up eventually. Any type of filtration you choose is better than none, but some are better for different aquariums. You want to make sure you get a testing kit so you know exactly where your parameters are for your water, because if you find that your ammonia and your nitrites are increased and raised, you want to make sure you can fix this as soon as possible so it doesn't involve any fatalities. After this, you can also start putting in decor. You can have different sorts of media at the bottom, such as sand, gravel, pebbles, big rocks, anything you can really think of. There are some things that are better than others, of course, but these are good things, because if you ever decide you want to switch aquariums, you can take the gravel or the sand or whatever, any sort of decor you had from the first aquarium, and put it in the second one, and this will kickstart the cycle for that aquarium as well. And Dr. Foster and Smith, which they specialize in aquarium keeping and fish keeping, they suggest that you do a water change every week or at least every month. They recommend that you do 10 to 15% of the water every week. And this is so that you keep ammonia and nitrite levels in check. And it also kind of removes some of the bacteria, the bad bacteria and the waste, and makes your tank look cleaner. Another thing that helps with this tremendously is a gravel vacuum. It's a siphon where it's big at one end and smaller at the other. The big end you sift through the gravel in, and it picks up all the fish waste and leftover food and all sorts of germs and stuff, and it sucks them out, and you can either put it through a hose that goes out your back door, or pump it through a bucket and then take the bucket and dump it out. But either way, it makes cleaning your aquarium tremendously easier, and it has saved me countless hours. You also want to be careful for parasites and diseases, because a lot of fish that come home from the fish store are already troubled with parasites and diseases. So it's really important that even if you do experience fish losses, that you don't get discouraged, because a lot of it is out of your control. But really good ways that you can help make sure you have as many fish alive and healthy as you can, you first want to make sure of the size. You want to have the right size for the right amount of fish and the right type of fish. You also want to cycle your aquarium, and this is taking the ammonia and nitrite levels down to 0 by using beneficial bacteria. And 3, you can add your decor. It helps with the bacteria and cycling process, but it's not necessary if you don't want it. And then you can add the fish. And then after that, maintaining, you just have to make sure you keep it clean and do your 10 to 15% weekly water changes. And it is important with this that you don't add any cleaning products. If you do, for some reason, decide that you want to start from scratch with a new aquarium or clean your aquarium completely out, you want to use something not harmful. You don't want to use dish soap, you don't want to use anything like that. You can use, however, vinegar. Vinegar works great. Hopefully you can pass some of this on to other people that you have known that for some reason can't seem to keep fish. The cycling process will definitely benefit them and will make their fish keeping experience much more positive. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you can share the information.